Hi, I wanted to come on and spend a few minutes with you. I'm Michele. This month is Cancer Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I wanted to bring attention to cancer in general and on a self-awareness level with the cancer awareness. We think of cancer or any disease as being something that's genetic, right? It's just in our genes. But I have shared that Bruce Lipton, a biology of belief author, has talked about how genes are not our destiny, that our environment plays a huge role as to whether our genes upregulate or downregulate, meaning whether they are ever expressed or not. And especially our perceived environment, how we view the world. Are we seeing it more positively or negatively? And this takes me on to another person that I greatly admire, which is the late Louise Hay, who talks about healing your body and how the energy of what you're feeling produces the dis-ease in the mind that produces then the disease in the body. And she's talked about basically how cancer has to do with resentment and anger. So with this in mind, I want to help us as we move forward in these times that seem still kind of out of control, be in more control. And I happened to come across a replay of a docu-series called Square One by Chris Wark. Chris beat cancer, and he did it in a holistic, more natural way. And in this free docu-series that then can be paid with also a paid supportive community via Facebook, he was sharing some free therapies, as he called them, that would help heal and even prevent cancer. I've got so many thoughts going through my mind, right? So how we can take care of ourselves in a more holistic, non-traditional cancer treatment type of way. Because really, it seems like I'm hearing more and more people that have been diagnosed with cancer lately. Are you with me on that? And that someone I was following, and I can't think of who, was saying how cancer is actually kind of becoming an epidemic. So with this in mind, what can we start doing to prevent it from expressing itself in us? And if you are dealing with cancer, how can we help heal in a more natural sense, even if you're using traditional cancer-related therapies? So here is what Chris lays out. He has 10 areas, and you're going to find that a lot of these I have already talked about. And what's great about this is not only help with cancer, but this is immune boosting. So this is going to help you any time of the year, but especially as we're in that cold and flu season time of year. So the first one that this is what Chris recommends, and these are Chris's words that I'm going to just read to you, is a whole food plant-based diet. Chris says that that is the most anti-inflammatory type of diet on the planet Earth. The second one is to get moving. That exercise boosts the body's production of T cells and improves your immune function. The third one is fast your way to health. Now, this is something I really haven't talked about, but Chris does. And he talks about water fasting for 3 to 5 days and how that helps old damaged immune cells die off. Now, note, Chris does have a specific way to do this. So if you were interested in something like this, I would suggest you researching it further through him so that you do it in a very safe manner. The next is to get more sleep, right? This is our body's chance to repair and heal itself. And it helps the brain cleanse itself even. Our sleep is so important. Number 5 is soak up the sun. Now, one of the most important anti-cancer vitamins is the one we get for free from the sun, and that's vitamin D. Now, granted, many of us are going into the winter months here where we're not able to get out in that sunshine, and I ask you to work through a doctor and get your vitamin D levels tested so that you can supplement with vitamin D. It's really important. It's a really great cancer-fighting vitamin. Vitamin D is actually a hormone that we produce, and it's great immune booster. The next one is sing your heart out. Singing reduces stress, it improves your mood, lowers inflammation, and boosts your immune system because you're bringing joy and happiness into that moment. So put on something that really lights you up and sing along and enjoy yourself. And speaking of enjoying, the next one, number 7, is laugh it up. Laughter increases blood flow and oxygenation in the body, improves your mood, reduces stress, and boosts your immune system. Laughter is medicine. And in one of my Medium articles early on, I shared about that as well. The importance of us laughing it up. And we need that, especially in the times we're in now, which seems so negative, right? Do they not? Next one is ground yourself. Grounding not only reduces pain, it reduces stress by shifting the nervous system from a sympathetic to a parasympathetic state. Now, grounding, you can Google that and look it up, is walking out barefoot in the grass or in the dirt, gardening, doing things like that. There's even grounding pads that you can work with, especially as we start going into colder weather. Number 9, forgive everyone. Bitterness and resentment, this comes from Chris, are toxic emotions that poison. Those are his exact words. And what did I say earlier about what Louise Hay shared about anger and resentment and cancer? Can you forgive yourself and others? And if you get caught up in that F word, it's a loaded concept. As I've shared before, can you understand? And start working with that. It's not making anyone right. It's not saying what happened didn't matter. It is just realizing that we can't change what's happened and freeing ourselves of that prison that we're in by continuing to hold that resentment and remembering it. And then number 10 is prayer and meditation. The act of calming the mind, it also calms the body, reducing stress, inflammation, and improves the immune function. And it taps us into ourselves, and it taps us into a higher power. What do you think, guys? Does this sound too simple? It's really, as I'm doing research and as I'm learning things from so many different people I deem experts that I follow, are simple, practical steps we can take. We tend to overcomplicate things and want to make things much harder than they are. Now, that said, you might listen to my list and say, well, a lot of these aren't easy for me. Take the judgment out. Is how you're living easy? Or are you dealing with the heart of things, right? You get to choose your heart. And I want to help us on a journey to find ways to open ourselves up to a new way to look at things. These are simple, practical steps that you could do starting today to help you, either with a disease or with a cold or a flu, or just in general to stay healthy. This is about us taking control, tapping into our inner power. Our choices matter. And this is all going to bring us more peace. Guys, this is the journey of self-awareness. And I'd love to continue it on with you. So please, like my Facebook page, Newland Wellness, as well as my YouTube channel. Subscribe at Newland Wellness. NewlandWellness.com is my website. I'm on Medium through Illumination. And I thank you for spending a